Mukam karuti vachalam pangum lankayati girim Yat kripa tamaham bande paramananda madhavam. I bow down to that ever blissful Krishna, by whose grace the dumb become eloquent and the lame scale mountains. May Krishna be the guide of our lives. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 52. We are studying the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, and we shall start from verse 25. The Gita consists of 18 chapters, and each chapter is called a yoga. Means you can unite yourself with God. The first chapter is called chapter on grief, sorrow, despondency. Through suffering also, we can connect ourselves with God. Sometimes we pray better when we have very bad time. Second chapter is on the ultimate reality. The third chapter was the Karma Yoga, how to work. Fourth, Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge, wisdom. And the fifth chapter is the path of renunciation, Sannyasa Yoga. What should we renounce? You will have to renounce your husband and wife and children and home and car and money. Just to renounce attachment, ego, selfishness, craving for the result of action, name, fame, desire for worldly things. That will bind us. Veda, the great book of wisdom of India, has two parts, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. Path of karma, ritualistic part of the Vedas, which will teach how to attain prosperity of Buddha in this world and how to go to heaven. That is the goal. Enjoy this world, have prosperity, and go and enjoy the celestial joy in heaven. That is Karma Kanda. Jainini is the propounder of that school. The next school is Jnana Kanda, path of knowledge, wisdom, which we teach, Upanishads, Gita. Vyasa is the teacher of that school. What does he say? He says, you see, this karma is full of problems. All these human beings you see, they are rotating in three places. Avidya, Kama, Karma. Why do you work? To fulfill our desires. Why do you have desires? Because of ignorance. So all these billions of people you see, including myself, including you, they are all rotating in these three places. We have ignorance. That ignorance produces a lot of desires, and we are running day and night to fulfill those desires. That is the absolute truth. Now Krishna says how to get rid of this cycle of karma, how to break it, how to get rid of it, how to attain freedom from this wheel of karma. That we learn from the Bhagavad Gita. Gita did not say that you will have to give up, sacrifice, all the rituals. They are good. Do that. But what will they do? This karma, first it starts with desire, and then you will work without motive, unselfish karma, nishkam karma. Then, do you know what will the nishkam karma do? What does it do? It purifies the mind. The moment the mind is purified, it becomes one-pointed. At that time we pray. We try to connect ourselves with God. And that brings us knowledge, liberation. So Krishna says, you should not have to give up your work, do it. And at the same time he says that you will not have to renounce and be a mendicant, monk. Have everything. Only give up all karma to me. Jat karoshi, jad ashnasi, jat jihushi, dadasi jat tapussasi kaunteya, tat kurusha madarpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you sacrifice, whatever austerities you perform, offer everything to me. Then what will happen? That karma becomes worship. The moment it becomes worship, you will never be bound by karma. My guru's guru used to tell 3 stages of karma: work and worship, work as worship, work is worship. So when the work becomes worship, that work becomes like sadhana, spiritual disciplines. That work will not bind you. Sacrifice. We cannot live in this world without karma. And we know work binds us. Shall we give up our karma? How can we work without getting bondage? Krishna taught in the Gita, 2nd chapter, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddha siddho samabhutva samattam yoga uchati. Work, being immersed in yoga. Give up attachment. Don't seek the result of your action. Be even-minded when you succeed or when you fail. This equanimity of mind is called yoga. How to maintain this equanimity of the mind? That we must learn from the Bhagavad Gita. Yajna. We are all working day and night. The husband goes to work 8-10 hours a day, brings money for the wife, for the children, for family. He wants to make everybody happy, which is a great sacrifice for that man to go to work every day and work 8 to 10 hours just to make family happy. That is his sacrifice. Wife's sacrifice also is equally important. Some wives work, some wives maintain the happiness in the family. That is a big job. To make husband happy, children happy, family happy, society happy. She works day and night, the mother of the house. She also is sacrificing herself for the happiness of others. I am just telling you what is called sacrifice. Sacrifice, yajna. Yajna means sacrifice. You sacrifice your ego, selfishness, for the happiness of others. That is the main focus of the Bhagavad Gita. Selfishness is sin. Unselfishness is God. Swami Vivekananda defined. How can I get rid of this bondage of karma? That we must learn from the Gita. Work. But work will not bind you. If you know this yoga, karma, gaushalam, the skill of action is called yoga. How to do it? That we must learn from the Gita. Sometimes we suffer. Sometimes when too much problem comes to our lives, I sometimes repeat this line of a song, mystic song. Dosh karonay go ma shama, ami shwakato sholile dube mori shama. Oh mother, no one is to blame. It is my karma. I am drowned in my own well, which was dug by me. The well which I dug, I am drowned there. So my suffering, my misery, my happiness come from my karma. Do you know how do I look at my life about karma? If I do right in the morning, I shall be happy in the night. If I do right in my young age, I shall be happy in my old age. If I do right in this very life, I shall be happy in my next life. That is the way I look at my karma. We make ourselves miserable through our karma. We also make ourselves happy through our karma. It is karma. Doing. Karma can change our life, our character. Kamo mayo vayam purusha. The Upanishad tells us these human beings have desires. When desire comes, we resolve to fulfill the desires. When that resolution comes, we rush in action. We go and perform it. And when we perform the action, we get the result. Now we shall start in the text. No, verse 24. I'm sorry, I said 25. Jo antasyukanto araramaha tatuva tathantar jyotirivaya sajogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuta Adhigachyati. Whose happiness is within, whose relaxation is within, whose light is within, that yogi alone, becoming Brahman, gains absolute freedom in Brahman. Yovanta Sukha. Beautiful word. Sukh. How do you get happiness? Krishna says people get happiness by the contact of the senses and the sense objects. That bring happiness through the senses. Good food, I eat, I get happiness. Enjoyment, I get happiness. It comes from the senses. He says that the happiness which comes through the senses invariably brings pain. They have a beginning, they have an end. Good food, perhaps you love sweets, pie. Doctor declared that you have diabetes. That same food is giving you pain. Previously, that food would give you happiness. Just see how the same object brings happiness, same objects may bring misery. A man loves a woman, or a woman loves a man, man. If the other person is not faithful, infidel, same now infidelity, immediately that we hate that person. Or it comes the other way. Previously that man would give me happiness, now that man is giving me misery. Previously that woman would give me happiness, now that woman is giving me misery. Just see, same object is not, the object is not changing, mind is changing. Addo addavanta. It has a beginning, it has an end. Forbear it. Krishna says in the Gita. Then he says that before you, next verse it says, if one can withstand, one who can withstand in this life before the liberation from the body, the current arising from lust and anger, he or she is a yogi. He or she is a happy being. How to control this lust and anger? The other day somebody phoned me and says, I have terrible temper, could you help me? Why are you angry? I cannot help it. Then if you are angry, count 10. If you are too much angry, count 100. Perhaps that will help you. Anta Sukha. Happiness is within. That happiness comes from Atman, the self. Do you know what do they say? Bhumaiva sukham nalpe sukham asti. Happiness is only in the infinite, not in the finite objects. The Upanishad tells us. Infinite. That infinite is God, Brahman. Anta Sukha. Antar Arama. He delights. He plays with the Atman, self. How? Through discrimination, concentration, meditation. The mystics play with God. That play is really wonderful play. Sri Ramakrishna was playing with Ramlala, fitting that image of Rama, playing, swimming, running around with that image of God. You do not see, I do not see, but Ramakrishna sees. That joy, that play with God is wonderful. Antararam. Tata antar jyoti. Jyoti means light. This question arose in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Kim Jyoti? Where is the light? How do you function in this world? By this help of the light. Otherwise you cannot work. That light comes from the sun. When the sun sets, the light of the moon. When no sun, no moon, the light of the stars, lightning. When all gone, where is the light? Light of the fire. When the fire goes away, where is the light? Think of that. No sun, no moon, no stars, no fire. No electricity, no gas. Where is the light? Shabda Jyotihi, sound is the light. You are my neighbor, shouting, help, help. Hearing that sound, I shall rush to your house. Shabda, sound. When no sound, even sound disappears, where is the light? Atma Jyotihi, the light of the Atman, consciousness. He is talking about Dada. Do you know what happens? When you can see, you can connect yourself with that light, you will never fall. There will not be any false step for a yogi. He sees with X-ray vision. He sees this past, present and future with that light. We are very short-sighted. Very short-sighted. We do not know what will happen after 1 hour. You don't know. But the yogis can see far, far away what is coming. You know, when I joined the monastery, I started these monks' lives. I have found some people are very sincere, very serious. They don't care for easygoing life. They are very strict about their meditation and spiritual disciplines, studying the scriptures. And I saw the success in their lives. I found the fulfillment in their lives. And some very loose in the very beginning, and old age, suffering from frustrations, thinking what I have achieved in my life. 40 years, 50 years in the monastery, couldn't achieve anything. For the reason, those who come to Vedanta, I always remind them, work hard in the very beginning. Gain something in this life. Achieve something. Then you will be happy. Sa yogi Brahma Nirvanam Brahma Bhuto Digacchati. Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta means by becoming Brahman. That is the difference between spirituality, Vedanta, and the other types of learning. If you know chemistry, you cannot become one with chemistry, or physics, or mathematics, or botany, or biology. But if you know Brahman, you become one with Brahman. Your whole being will be saturated with Brahman. I sometimes give this illustration. If I put 440 volt electricity on your body, what will happen? Your whole body will be saturated with electricity. And if I try to touch your body, I will be caught by that electricity. I will be dead. You will be dead, I will be dead. That happens. It is just an example. But you know, when a person becomes illumined, that person becomes the source of inspiration of millions of people. He gives light. Look what Jesus says, I am the light of the world. What does it mean? It means he is giving that light, that consciousness, that wisdom to whole humanity. That is the real light. Next word is Brahma Nirvanam. Nirvanam, ni means not. Vana means coming and going. No more coming and going. Because this is the last life. Nirvanam also, they say extinguishment. Extinguishing the lamp. You blow away the lamp. Where does the light go? Out. So this soul becomes merged with the cosmic consciousness. All individuality goes away. Brahma Nirvanam. The yogi achieves complete realization of Brahman, becoming one with Brahman. His happiness is within. He or she does not depend on anything external for his or her happiness. When we are children, we depend entirely upon external things for our happiness. When we become mature and more mature, that dependence becomes less and less. But in this case of the yogi, he or she becomes absolutely free. Sarvam Atmavasham Shukam Paravasham Dukkham Eva. Dependence brings happiness. Dependence brings misery. Independence brings happiness. So the yogi only depends upon himself. The word came, Brahma Nirvanam, final liberation. He will never be recycled again in this world. No more birth, no more suffering, no more death. How is it possible? The Upanishad tells us, at that time, so akamo. He has no attachment for the external objects. Nishkamo. His all desires are uprooted from the mind. Aptokamo. At that time, his all desires are fulfilled. Sri Ramakrishna gave an illustration. If you push a pitcher into the water, it will make bhag, 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 bhag sound. When the pitcher is completely full, it does not make any more noise. That happens. When your heart is full of God consciousness, you will be full. That is called aptukam. And atmakam, his only desire he keeps, that desire is for the Atman, nothing else. Because if you do not have desire, do you know what will happen? Your body will fall on the floor. You will be dead right now. Which is the desire, which is the preservative of this human body. That is the way it works. Desire. Some are good, some are bad. But desire is desire. When you have no desires, you will be in samadhi. You will be one with Brahman. Nirvikalpa samadhi. Next verse. Lavante Brahma Nirvanam Rishaya Kshina Kalmashaha Chinna Dvaida Yatatmana Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha. With imperfections, exhausted doubts, with imperfections exhausted, doubts dispelled, senses controlled, engaged in the good of all beings, the rishis, the seers of truth, obtain absolute freedom in Brahman. Rishaya. Rishaya means mantra drashtara. Upanishad says Rishi means the person who has experienced the truth, God, Brahman. They are rishis. What do? These Rishaya? First, Kshino Kalmosha, through rituals, through spiritual disciplines, through sacrifice, they become sinless. No impurities inside. Second, Chinna Dvaita, all doubts go away. Do you know who is number one enemy? Doubt in a spiritual life. The Upanishad tells us, when we experience the self, all doubts dispelled from the mind forever. All actions cease to function. The knots of the heart are cut asunder, and you will be one with Brahman, pure consciousness. Chinna Dvaita. Dida. Dida means back and forth, dilemma. But how this doubt goes away? Vichar, Shravan, Manan. If you continuously listen and if you reflect, then this doubt goes away. Doubt will remain. Doubt will remain as long as we are not illumined. Jatatmanha means the person who has control over the mind through meditation. What does this man do? Does he dance around or how? Sarvabhuta hiti rataha. He's constantly engaged in doing good to humanity. One thing remains after illumination, a lot of compassion, feeling for others. I want to love you. I want to serve you. That person's ego, selfishness die forever. That is a sign of a true spiritual person. Sarvabhut hiti rataha. He is always engaged for doing good to humanity. Sri Ramakrishna gave a beautiful illustration. A man was an accountant of a company, and for some wrong things he lost his job. He was fired and he was sent to jail. So after coming out from the jail, will he dance around? No, he will find out another job. So similarly, an illumined soul, after God's realization, what will he do? He engages himself to do good to humanity. Whose sins and evils have been completely eliminated, then only can we realize our true nature. One who has transcended the notion of duality, that notion that things are separate from each other has gone away from him or her after realizing the basic oneness of everything in Brahman. The person highly disciplined within, then outwardly interested in the happiness and welfare of all beings. When you achieve these things within, then your whole energy flows out in a positive form of bringing cheer and happiness to other people. Swami Vivekananda made a remark about Buddha. He never took a single breath for himself. You won't find a second unselfish man like Buddha in this world. Whatever he did for others. Swami Vivekananda once made a remark about himself. If I did anything wrong in my life, that also I did for others. I never did anything for myself. As a seed becomes a tree and then it blooms and gives fruits, that is the way we find the fulfillment of a tree's life. Similarly, a person who really illumines himself and then he sacrifices his own life for the good of others, that is the way we see the fulfillment of his life. Sri Ramakrishna made a remark, I cooked food, you come and enjoy it. I made fire, come and take the heat. I made the mold, you just come and cast yourself in that mold. That is the job of an illumined soul. They make the mold. Christ, Buddha, Ramakrishna. Through their lives, through their sadhana, they made the mold. You go and cast there. Lead a life like Christ, Ramakrishna, Buddha. Sometimes try to imagine this. One commentator I liked this symbol of the goddess Gita. Do you know what is this goddess? Try to imagine this goddess form. Her head is full of light, means wisdom. Her hands full of energy, action. Her whole body is full of love, devotion. Try to imagine a form a female form, the goddess Gita. Head full of light, hands full of energy, and whole body is full of love. So we sometimes see that whether your life is perfect or not. If you have these three yogas in your life will be just right. It is not one-sided, very balanced, well-balanced life. You have knowledge, wisdom, you have devotion, love, and you have action, energy. That is the way Bhagavad Gita has been set up in front of us. I always tell people, read one chapter a day. You will see this is the book of life. It is a non-sectarian scripture. You will see that whatever problems we have, the answer is there in the Gita. Some people only read the scriptures, but if you do not apply that scriptures in your life, you will not be able to see it. One of our, in our St. Louis, one of the nurses in our city, she raises money and buys peanut in Haiti, and she makes peanut butter and feeds those children who are not getting nutrition from food. She raises money in this country and goes to Haiti and serves these poor people. That is called real karma yoga. Do you know what? When she sees those thousands of young children healthy, happy, that woman gets tremendous peace and happiness inside. That is called real karma yoga. She is a karma yogi. Vedanta teaches us, when you close your eyes, say, I am Brahman, I am that Brahman, God consciousness. And when you open your eyes, say that you are Brahman too, you are God. So we serve human beings as the manifestation of God. God dwells in all human beings. But on the Christmas day, one lady came here. We are having our lunch. She wanted to see me, so I went. She stood near the door and said she read my article, our article in the 25th November in this Post-Dispatch. One article came about our center. So she was telling, do you believe in Christ? I said, yes. But if you do not believe, you will go to hell. Saying so, she left. And I was watching, she walked this direction. Swami Vivekananda made a remark. One minister said that you are a heathen, you will go to hell. Swamiji said, where are you going? Well, I am going to heaven. Then Swamiji said, I must definitely go to hell. I don't like to live with you. I don't like to live with you. Kama krodho vijuktanam jyotinam yatachetasam ovito Brahma Nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. Released from lust and anger, the heart well controlled, the self-realized. Absolute freedom is for such spiritually disciplined people, both here and hereafter. In the third chapter, Krishna already told us our two main enemies, Kama and Krodha, lust and anger. They are twins. If my lust is not fulfilled, I become angry. Anger brings confusion. What happened? Recently we are reading the story of the Arizona, that man shot that congresswoman and several people are killed in Arizona. And I was watching his smiling face. I was thinking this man must be illumined. Killing all these people, he is laughing. Do you know what is the problem? Problem is these people, I do not know whether he is mentally sick or not. I am miserable and you people are happy. I won't let you be happy. I want you also to be miserable like me. I am in hell, you also come and join with me and we have a nice time there. You know, sometimes watch these people. Why are they angry? Unfulfilled desires. His desires are not fulfilled. For the reason that person is angry. And they bring destruction. Some innocent people, a little girl, 8 years, 9 years old girl was dead, killed. Cause? Why Kama and Krodha, lust and anger. That is the cause. Most of when you open the newspaper, every day you try to understand the cause of this murder or cause of these things. You will find these two things are there. Lust and greed and anger. Kama, Krodha. In another chapter, Krishna says, Narakasya Trivido Dwaram. These are the three gates of hell. Lust, greed and anger. They will take you. A horrible place. This person's mind is free from lust and anger. Jato Chetasam. His mind is under control. And he knows Brahman. Viditatmanam. Do you know what does it mean, Viditatmanam? He sees himself in every one of us, so he cannot kill anybody. Tatu na vijigupshate. If you experience the Atman, the Self in all beings, how can you hate others? How can you kill others? It is impossible. Such persons, while he is living, even after leaving this body, he remains in the state of Nirvana. He remains illumined. There is a beautiful prayer in the Bhagavatam. Prahlada said to Vishnu, I have seen some gods and sages. Most of the time they are trying to attain their own liberation. Lord, I do not care for my own liberation. You want me to take me to heaven. I don't care for heaven. I want to live with these poor suffering people so that I can help them. Just see, this person is renouncing his own liberation, renouncing his own heaven, just to serve humanity, his friends, the suffering people. That is the goal of an illumined soul. Those who are free from anger and lust, To spiritually disciplined people whose mind is fully under control, to such people, this unity with Brahman is an accomplished experience. Such a person need not sit in meditation to get this kind of experience. 24 hours while dealing with human beings, dealing with administration, dealing with politics, dealing with business, he or she will be in Brahman. Their life is completely transformed here and now. That is the greatest statement here. Obito is every minute, whether you are alone or in company, in meditation or in work, such a one is always in that atmosphere of Brahman. Such a person creates an atmosphere, and who will come in that atmosphere will get that experience. Next two verses. Sparshan kritva bahirvajyan chakshushantavar bhuvo pranapano samokritya narsabhyantara charino. Jatendriya manobuddhir munir moksha parayanaha vigatecha vaya krodha jas sada mukte vasa. Shutting out contact with external objects, steadying the eyes between the eyebrows, restricting the even currents of prana and apana inside the nostrils, the senses, mind and intellect control with moksha or spiritual liberation is at the supreme goal. Freed from sensory desires, fear and anger, such a person is verily free forever. These two verses are very important. Do you know why? Krishna is going to set going to set the stage for the next chapter. The next chapter is Dhyana Yoga, how to meditate. That chapter is very, very important. 6th chapter. So he is making the stage. Prastuti, a preparation is necessary for meditation. All the gymnasts, they play, they do some workout. So similarly, this meditation, you need some workout. This is the workout. Sparshan ki bahir bhajyan sparshan, means give up this, shut the external objects. For the reason, when we sit for meditation, we close our eyes so that we may not see outside. But mind is so tricky. It goes through the closed eyes, you know. It does. You close your eyes, then you will see that mind is thinking something else. It leaves the body. It is very difficult to control this mind. Sometimes I used to experiment. I used to close my eyes and I used to say, I won't let you go outside. I saw my two eyes, right and left, are jumping like this. No, 5 minutes, wait. No, I used to nod my head. Then do you know what will happen? Within 5 minutes, mind will come down. At that time, the third eye opens. That eye is called Manasyakshu, Jnanasakshu. When that third eye opens, you will see different world. You try, you will get the result. Then Krishna is telling him, sir, where shall I concentrate? Between the eyebrows, here. But you know, I cautioned you, some people may do it, you will get terrible headache, migraine, you may get dizziness. That is not the good, right place to concentrate. The yogis do that. You concentrate in the heart chakra, here. Very safe place. Ramakrishna said, very safe place. You will not get headache. This is called Shiva Yoga, and this is called Vishnu Yoga. Perhaps you have seen Hare Krishna people, they put a mark there, they concentrate on the tip of their nose. Why? Because at that time, half of their mind in this world, half of their mind in God. And if you here concentrate here, you are fully out from this world. Be careful. At that time you need a teacher, guru. He will teach you how to do it. Then pranapano samokitva. Pranapan. Inhale, exhale. You see, there is a close connection with the prana and the mind. It is the mind controls the prana and the prana controls the mind. You are an artist with your brush and paint. You know, you are drawing something. At that time your breath will be very slow. The more you have concentrated mind, your breath will be very slow. And your mind is restless. You have seen the dogs, when they are hungry, that means very restless. Rapid breath. That means a tremendous restlessness in the mind. Oh, that is a huge chapter. How many types of pranayamas the yogis do? Nashabhantracharino, Jatendriya Manobuddhir Munir Moksham. When you control your mind and buddhi, then if you want to get liberation. This commentator says, Swami, why should I sit for meditation? What shall I gain? We are very utilitarian about our life. You will get peace, you will get joy. But if I try to control myself, jitam jagat kena manohi jena, who has conquered the world? The person who has conquered the mind. At that time your mind will be a slave. You can dictate your mind, do this, do that, your mind will obey. We are all slaves of the mind. Mind is dictating us. You do this, you do that. That means Maya is dictating us. But here, you will be the controller of the mind. All happiness, misery, all under your control. This person says, practice once a day. See whether you get the result or not. This is the last verse. Bhuktaram yajyatapasam sarvaloka mahesharam suridam sarvabhutanam gyattvamam shantim richati. Beautiful verse. Knowledge, knowing me as the receiver and dispenser of the fruits of sacrifices and spiritual practices, as the great Lord of all the worlds and as the friend of all beings, one attains peace. We want peace, no doubt about it. So Krishna is telling us how to attain peace. Bhuktaram jajna tapasam. Krishna is telling, I am the bhakta. Whatever you do, sacrifice, worship, whatever functions you do in this world, whatever austerity you do, all connected with me. When you perform worship, what do? Connected with God. When you practice austerity, you want to attain God. So all these things are focused toward God. Krishna says that. I am the receiver of all of your actions and all of your austerities. And I am the dispenser of the result of those actions. That is called bhoktaram. I consume, I enjoy, I take all those things. That is the first adjective. Second, sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the Lord of whole universe, creator, preserver, destroyer, I am everything. When we hear that word, we get afraid, we get scared. My goodness, how can I love this person who is a cosmic being? Mundaka Upanishad says that cosmic being, his head is the dulok, the heaven, full of fire. Chakshushi Chandra Surjau, his one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon. Dishasrotri, his ears, all 10 sides are his ears. His speech are the Vedas. With his 2 feet, he encompassed the whole universe. How can you love this person? Whose one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon? We'll be fearful. We'll be scared. You cannot hug a person whose one eye is the sun, another eye is the moon. Oof, we'll be burnt into ashes. So Krishna next, he came one step down. Suridam sarvabhutanam. I am the friend of all beings. Oh, then we get a little peace. Oh, he is my friend. God is my friend. There are 3 kinds of friends. One friend, there are some people have good sympathy. He will come sympathize you, but he does not have any money or any means to help you. Just lips service. That is one kind of friend. Second kind of friend, second kind of person you will find has a lot of money. He is your friend, very rich friend, but he does not have any heart. He does not help people. Very selfish. Third, he has a means but no interest with others. Very selfish. I remember when we were in 7th grade, we had to memorize who is your friend. Utsave vyasane jaiva durvikshe rashtra viplave rajoddare smashane cha jatishtati sa bandhava. Utsave. At the time of festivity, your good time. Bashane means good time. Durvikshe, at the time of famine. Rashtra viplave, during war. Rajoddare, when you are arrested by the court or anything. Smashane, when somebody dies in your family. He who comes and stands beside you, that person is your friend. Shuridam sarvabhutanam, bandhu. Shurid means friend, means bandhu. Do you know what bandhu means? You are my friend. What does it mean? Bandhanat bandhu, the person who ties you with love, that person is your friend. That's a beautiful definition of bandhu. Bandhanat bandhu, the person ties you with love, that person is your friend. Ye bandhu, who is the friend? Krishna says, I am not an ordinary friend. Sarvaloka maheshwaram. I am the Ishvara, all powerful. All wealth I have. At the same time, infinite love and compassion for all beings. I am not an ordinary friend. Sarvabhutanam Shurit. That is a beautiful adjective. He is telling his cousin Arjuna, think that I am your friend, then you will get peace. A real friend will never leave you during your bad time. You will have to understand, the Gita was taught at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. When your enemies will attack you, I will not run away, leaving you in the middle of the war. I shall be with you. I am your Shurit, I am your Bandhu. We find that kind of friends very few in this world, that will never leave me. Krishna says, I am Sarvaloka Maheshwara. I am God of the whole world. I shall never leave you. Your husband, your wife, your children, all, some people may desert you. Some people may leave you, but I shall never leave you. That he says. It is a great assurance. When you think that such a person is behind me, Shanta, you have no worry, no anxiety. My friend will help me. He will never leave me. That Krishna said. Do you know what he says? The God of the Gita is not a God made with stone, heartless, made of stone or wood or any image. He has a heart. He has love. He has love. He has feelings for others. But how can I reach such a friend? Through yoga. This is a very beautiful verse centered in bhakti or pure devotion. Bhakti to the personal aspect of the impersonal, personal God of Vedanta. This bhakti or devotion will become the theme of the 7th and other chapters. It has just come as an introduction here. Know me as the friend of all beings. It is a beautiful conception. We are limited in power, limited in our energies. But there is one unlimited energy behind us. We can always draw upon that energy, just like a small bank. If too many people rush to the bank to withdraw their deposits, the bank will fail. But if it has the reserve bank behind it, it has nothing to fear. Similarly, in our human life with all our weaknesses, if we have the intense faith that there is an infinite reality behind this universe, behind me, closest to me, and is my friend, my own inner self, ever ready to help me, we can get peace and freedom from tension. In this world of tension today, we have to, as one of the Western writers said, if there is no God, we have to invent one. He is needed today. Have the tremendous faith in the divine. But here you have not to invent. Our philosophy tells you there is a reality behind this changing universe. It is the Bostu, a reality, is our own self, the self of all beings. And that self is God. Quality of life is very important. What is the quality of your life? Are you peaceful? Are you happy? Can you live peacefully with others without strife, without tension? All these questions of quality are becoming more and more prominent. And it is that quality aspect that comes by believing in this divine reality behind the universe, who is a divine person And because you are a person, God appears to you as a person, and He can respond. So in philosophy, we speak of an ultimate reality, but in spiritual life, we speak of an intimate reality. That is ultimate. This is intimate. Bhakti, devotion, makes this divine reality intimate to us. He is one with us. He is not far away. He is here. So, if you want peace, make a friendship with God. That Krishna says, I am your friend, I shall never leave you. That is a great assurance, a great gospel of hope in the Bhagavad Gita. I am your friend. Madhubatarithayate madhuksharanti sindavaha madhvirna santoshadhehe madhunaktam utoshasi madhumat parthiva rajaham madhudaurastu napitam madhumanno vanaspatir madhumagumastu suryaham madhvirgavo bhavantuna. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the winds blow sweetly, may the rivers flow sweetly, may days and nights be sweet to us, may the dust of the earth be sweet to us, may the trees and plants be sweet to us, may all beings be sweet to us, may the sun shine on us sweetly, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be blissful. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto all.